to do is we are going to use our 4 steps to solve these problems. Okay, it does say that I could draw a picture. So I think for the first one, we will draw a picture and do our steps. And then for the others, we'll just do the steps. Okay, so raise your digital hand if you can tell me what the steps are for dividing fractions. I only have 7 people that can tell me what the steps are. That's a little disturbing. I have some people that maybe weren't paying attention then. That's so sad. All right, Stephanie, can you tell me what is the first step?
Whole.
Okay, the whole number, right? You should be writing these. Even if you've written them already, I want you to write them. Okay, good job, Stephanie. Go ahead and mute yourself. All right, Sadie, what would be the next step?
To keep.
Okay, what do we keep? Do you remember? It's okay if you don't remember.
The first total?
Okay, yeah, the first number, because that's the total, right? Okay. All right, David, what's the next step?
You
I have a feeling it's because you can't read your notes, babe. And that's, you gotta write better notes, okay? All right, Kayra, help him out. What's the next step?
Change.
Change. What are we gonna change, Kayra? Do you remember?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna change from, from division to multiplication, right? So we're going to change that operation. All right, Yvette, what's the last step?
flip.
Flip. Now, what are we going to flip? You remember?
We're going to flip the fraction.
Okay, but we can't say that because we're on Monday, we're going to do dividing, and when we do dividing again on Monday, the fraction will be first. So we can't say that. But we can say, how about flip? And then we can put in parentheses reciprocal. Do we know what that means? Okay, so for instance, 1/2 over here, what's the reciprocal of 1/2? Not 2/2, but 2 over 1, right? Okay, for 1/8, the reciprocal of 1/8 would be 8 over 1. Okay, 1/3 would be 3 over 1. Okay, I probably don't want to put equal signs because they're not equal. So that's me erasing instead of getting the eraser. Okay. All right, so now that we have our steps, very good job. Let's go ahead and, for this first one, we're going to draw a picture. Okay, so I have 4 cakes. Draw yourself 4 cakes. Okay, and each of these cakes, they want cut into halves. So how many pieces of cake do we have? We only have 4 pieces of cake? Okay, I'm hearing a bunch of people in my room saying 8. Okay, because aren't these all colored? Maybe that'll help if we actually color them. Because they told us we have 4 cakes, right? And if each cake is cut in halves, That means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces, correct? Okay. So that is, my answer here is 8. Now, let's do it with our steps over here. Okay. So I'm going to write it down here. Okay. Kamari Howard, what am I going to do first?
For the divided by 1.
Oh, you mean 4 over 1?
Yeah. 4.
Okay, so change the whole number to a fraction. Okay, very good. Okay, let's see. Gabriel, what will I do next?
We switch it to multiplying?
We haven't done this step yet, though.
Oh,
So we want to keep this number, right? Okay, always keeping the first number.
for some reason I still don't get it.
Okay, well, just watch. All I did was ask you what the step was. I didn't actually get to do anything. Okay, Israel. What do I do next? After I keep the first number, what do I do?
Change the division to multiplication.
Very good. Okay. All right. Let's see. Wayana, what do I do next? Israel, mute yourself, please. Or that's Victor. Somebody mute yourself. Wayana, what do I do next? So we did this, we did this, we did this. What do I do next?
Flip the reciprocal.
Flip the reciprocal. So guys, we did it over here already. The reciprocal of 1/2 is 2 over 1, right? Okay, so now we just multiply like we have been, right? So 4 times 2 is, everybody? 8. And then 1 times 1 is?
1.
Okay, and then 8 divided by 1 is?
8.
Is 8. Okay, so there's our answer that we got from our picture. Okay, are there any questions on this one? Okay, I'm going to erase. If your digital hand is up, would you put it down, please, so I know if we have questions? All right, I'm erasing that. You shouldn't erase your work, but I'm erasing to get a little bit more room. Okay, so now these next two, we're going to do without a model. But when you get to your quiz, if it helps you to draw a model, please do so. Okay, so I have 2 divided by 1/8. Okay, Trevor, what am I going to do first?
To you than to me because of where you grew up and how you grew up. And I'm wondering, as you were working on this project.
You don't know?
No, I don't know.
Okay, all right, Gabriel, help him out. What are we going to do first?
You could draw models.
Okay, but I just said we're not going to draw a model for this. What's my first step?
I mean, that's the only thing.
Okay, Yvette, help him out. What do we do first?
Change the whole number to a fraction.
All right, so I'm going to change 2 to 2 over 1. Okay. All right, Lyric, what am I going to do next?
You're going to keep your first number.
Keep my first number. So I'm going to write that over here. So I'm keeping my first number. Excellent. Okay, Brielle, what do I do next?
Change the division to multiplication.
Very good. Okay, Eva, what do I do next?
Flip
flip. Okay, so we did that over here. So the opposite of 1/8 is 8 over 1. And Araya, what do I do next? Are you there, Araya? Kamari Washington, what do I do next? Oh, this is very sad. If I call on you and you don't say anything, you get negative dojo points and you are losing points on the competition. All right, Brandon, what do I do next?
Multiply 2 and 8.
Okay, so 2 times 8 is what, everybody?
16.
16. And 1 times 1 is?
1.
1. So 16 divided by 1 is? 16. So our answer here is 16. Okay. For those of you that are paying attention, this should be starting to make some sense now. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this other last question together. Okay. So I have 2. My first step is to change it from a whole number to a fraction. So 2 over 1. My next step is to keep my first number. So again, I have 2 over 1, like the last question. Okay. Then my next step is to change from division to multiplication. And my last step is to flip, or to get my reciprocal. So what's the reciprocal of 1/3, everybody?
3 over 1.
3 over 1. Okay, and then everybody, what's 2 times 3?
6.
And 1 times 1?
1.
And 6 divided by 1
6.
is 6. Okay, it is easy once you get the hang of it, isn't it? Okay. All right, are there questions? So if you have your hand up, put it down if you don't have a question. Okay, Brandon, do you have a question?
I don't get the division on the first question.
On the first question. Oh, because remember I had to erase the work. So you don't see the work that we did for that. We had done it like this. But I had to erase that work so I could have room. Does that help? Okay, all right. Kamari Howard, question?
Sorry, I forgot to put my head down.
Okay. Kayra, question? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stop our video.